Hi guys, this is going to be a quick video explaining how you might be holding your Megaminx in a way that I consider to be wrong. I'm not talking about table abuse here, right? The kind where you just put the Megaminx on the table, turn like these faces and roll it when you want to do other face turns. I do think that's bad, but I think it's so different to holding it up in the air that it's pretty hard to like directly compare the two grip styles and like explain why table abuse is bad. Maybe I'll make another video on that. But today we're talking about the different styles of like holding it in the air. So the one that people default to, I guess, or the one that I've seen lots of people default to anyway, is thumb on F and middle finger on the opposite face. So this other green face here, which is just this sort of stable two-finger grip, and it's pretty comparable to how you might hold it on 3x3, right? So on 3x3 you might hold thumb on front, middle on back. This is like standard grip. Use it for ALGs. On Megaminx, this works fine if all you want to do is like just basic 2-tone turning, right? It works fine for those tones. However, if you want to do U2 prime, or some other tones, but mostly U2 prime, this grip falls apart because your middle finger's down here. You can't use it for a second U prime flick. So what you do on 3x3, if you want to do U2 prime, you'd shift your grip. So instead of having middle down here, you would shift it so that you're holding ring there instead. Then you can do U2 prime. On Megaminx, the same idea could apply, right? Instead of holding your middle finger down here, you shift it so it's your ring finger instead. And then in theory, you could do U2 primes. However, if you try this, you might find it's about as awkward as I made that look. The reason why it's awkward is because on Megaminx, when you do that second U prime, your middle finger ends up all the way here, right? So you end up with this huge separation between these two fingers. And the bigger the separation is between these two fingers, the harder it is to do flicks like that, and the more strain you're sort of placing down here, which is bad. You're going to find it slow, and you're going to find it sort of, it might make your fingers hurt. So those are bad things. If you've got huge hands, like really huge hands, then you might be able to make it work, but for most people you're going to find that this finger trick isn't very useful, and it's why most people don't end up doing U2 prime flicks, which is bad because U2 prime flicks are really fast, and they're really useful in lots of algorithms. So the solution to that is make the distance between these two fingers as small as possible, and that way you can do U prime flicks with your middle finger. So the way you do that is, rather than having your ring finger down here, is you move your ring finger up to here. And you'll have to have your pinky on D to sort of support the cue, because if you just have these two fingers, the Megaminx will slide out. So you have to have your pinky on D. But once you've got those three fingers set up like that, you can do U2 primes really easily. And you'll find that ALGs such as this, or cases such as this, are really fast and really easy to do. Now, you'll probably find at first that your pinky finger gets quite sore. And the reason it gets quite sore is because you're resting the weight of the Megaminx on it and sort of pushing it outwards. It's a movement, I guess, or like a stretch that your pinky is not really used to doing. There's not much in your day-to-day life that'll put weight on it like that. Don't worry too much. If it sort of hurts too much, stop doing solves. But other than that, just keep practicing, and eventually you'll build up the strength in your pinky. You can hold it here for 100 solves or whatever without your hands getting sore. Like when I first started gripping like this, my hands got quite sore. Now I don't even notice it. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Bye.